Bien.
Good.
Monsieur le témoin.
Now speaking to the witness. Mr. Uksorn, can you hear me? I would like to ask you to look at the accused. Do you see the accused? Do you recognize the accused?
I have problem with my eyesight. I cannot see further. I only see the shadow.
Judge Lavergne, now with the camera, perhaps could you zoom in for the witness to be able to see the accused on his screen?
Une vue rapprochée de l'accusé, si c'était possible.
Is it possible to zoom in with the camera?
Voilà. Est-ce que vous voyez quelque chose sur l'écran, monsieur?
Judge Lavergne, now I would like to ask the witness whether he sees does he see anything on the screen? Does he see the person on the screen? Can you see?
Vous pouvez distinguer une forme ou est-ce
Yes,
que vous
I
reconnaissez
see.
quelqu'un ou est-ce que c'est trop compliqué pour vous?
Judge Lavergne, can you distinguish reasonably clearly? Can you make out the features? Or is this still too difficult for you?
Là. Si c'est trop compliqué, vous dites que vous ne pouvez pas reconnaître.
Okay, so just tell us that you cannot recognize the person if this is too difficult for you, if you cannot visually make out the person.
Bien.
Yes, I can see the picture clearly, says the witness.
Donc vous voyez l'image, mais
Judge Lavergne, so you're seeing the image. Now, can you recognize the accused? Can you recognize that this is the person who was the head of M13?
Yes, I recognize him. He was the chief of M13 office.
alors,
Judge Lavergne, can the accused tell us whether he recognizes the witness? Does the accused recognize the witness?
The accused, Your Honors, I cannot recognize his face. With your permission, to ask the witness just one sentence. Just about his name, his alias.
Judge Lavergne. Mr. Uksorn, did you have a pseudonym, an alias? Did you have another name?
I do not have alias or pseudonym. I only have one name, says the witness.
vous pouvez vous asseoir, Duch.
Duch, you may be seated, says Judge Lavergne. Mr. Uksorn, do you recall the circumstances in which you were arrested and the reasons for which you were arrested?
The witness. I was arrested when I went to buy pigs and Kaing bass leg in order to have it for the ceremony. But at that time in that Knaambert, the village chief arrested me and brought me to M13.
Judge Lavergne, were you told what you were charged with?
The witness, I was accused of being a spy.
Alors, j'ai une question.
Judge Lavergne, I have a question for the accused. I have a question for the accused. I would like to say once again that Mr. Uksorn, who is now offering testimony in public, earlier on was known as KW30. KW30. Yesterday, you made a statement concerning the reasons for which witness KW30 was brought to M13. Do you recall this? Do you remember?
The accused, Your Honors, when I saw the name Uchson at Snool village, I thought of another person with the same name, Uchson alias Sum, who was sent to M13 probably in September 1971. And later, I asked the upper echelon to release him in 1973. I invited him to come back to be my guard. That's why I would like to ask the witness of his alias. So the event was that Uchson alias Sum that I knew and that I already reported to Your Honors. Probably he was one of the prisoners who were detained there. So could you please ask him, probably it is my misunderstanding on my part.
Je voudrais...
Judge Lavergne, I would like you to remind the chamber of the reasons that you mentioned regarding the reasons that got KW30 to M13. Yesterday you talked about specific reasons.
I mistaken him with another person from the same village, Snool village.
Est-ce que le témoin peut nous dire...
Judge Lavergne, can the witness tell us whether he lived in Snool village?
I lived in Snool village.
Est-ce qu'il y avait une...
Judge Lavergne, was there another person with the same name in this village, Snool village?
The witness, there was name Song in that village. But the name was Song, not the same as my name.
Judge Lavergne, so you are telling us that the person you were referring to yesterday is not the same person who is the witness here today. Yes, says Duch. However, I repeat my question, says Judge Lavergne. Yesterday, you referred to a person and you thought that that person was this witness, and you said yesterday that this person was taken to M13 for a specific reason. Do you remember what you said?
The accused, the brother Song that I informed Your Honors, had the problems like I described to you, who was brought to me, and that I released him, and later on I invited him to be part of the guard team.
Vous avez indiqué
Judge Lavergne, you have stated specific reasons for which this person was brought to M13. Do you remember? Yes, says Duch. So what were the reasons for which this person was brought to M13?
The accused, let me clarify to your honors that what you just said was about Brother Song when he was brought in for the first time, or when I invited him to be a guard. When Brother Song arrived the first time, I still reaffirmed my statement.
Alors, peut-être
Judge Lavergne, perhaps I misheard yesterday. I did not hear correctly. But I thought that I heard you say yesterday that this person was brought to M13 after having had problems of a personal nature. This is what I understood yesterday. And that he cut somebody's head off with a knife. Is this correct or not?
That was correct for that Brother Song. Like I said at the time, not to this gentleman shown here, says the accused.
j'entends bien. Alors maintenant je vais poser la question.
Judge Lavergne, okay, I understand. Now, I would like to ask the witness. Sir, have you ever been in a position of having to cut somebody's head off with a knife?
The witness, I never did, but Song used to cut somebody's neck, and the victim's name was Yam. The person is still alive these days.
Judge Lavergne, can you please tell us what were the sanitary conditions at the camp M13 in which the detainees were living? Could they wash? Could they go and relieve themselves? Could they wash? Could they bathe?
The witness, at that time, yes, for those who were detained in the pits, we were unshackled. Then they put a ladder for us to climb up and then to have a bath at the M13 office, which was next to the stream, on the south of the stream, to the north of Tropang Trap, so we could take a bath at the stream. Our hands were tied, but we could take a bath.
Judge Lavergne, can you give us any idea of the number of persons detained at M13?
The witness, I cannot correctly estimate the numbers because I was one of the prisoners in one pit. From what I could estimate, there were a lot of people, could be 2,000 to 3,000 people there.
Judge Lavergne, 2,000 to 3,000 simultaneously at the same time, or would that be cumulative throughout the duration of your detention?
The witness, from what I saw, when they were in those pits at the prison, I do not remember how many pits there were, but all the pits were full, including myself was in one of the pits. This is just my estimate because I was one of the prisoners, so I could not make a correct estimation. When we were let out for a bath or to urine, I had a glimpse, and so that figure was a rough estimate of what I thought at the time.
Je ne sais pas si vous avez bien compris ma question.
Judge Lavergne, I'm not sure you grasped my question correctly. Are you sure there were 2,000 people at any particular point in time, at the same time, or 2,000 people over a period of time because of new detainees arriving?
The witness, when I first arrived at the place, I saw prisoners were detained there. So I estimated there were at least that amount.
Judge Lavergne, can you tell us whether there were men, women, children?
The witness. Those who were detained there, including female, male, old and young alike.
Judge Lavergne, were there many children? Many children?
The witness. There were not many children. There were probably 30 to 40 children. For the very old people, there were not many as well. There were a lot of middle-aged people. For the prisoners there, some of the Khmer Rouge soldiers were also detained there.
Judge Lavergne, so there were Khmer Rouge soldiers. Would that have been a major proportion? Were there many Khmer Rouge soldiers?
The witness, there were some Khmer Rouge soldiers. Probably they were defeated from the front battlefield and they were brought there.
You're sure they were Khmer Rouge soldiers, are you? Or were they soldiers from the Lon Nol regime? Were they Republicans or were they specifically Khmer Rouge?
Let out to relieve themselves or for bed. I asked them and they told me they were soldiers. And when they went to fight the Lon Nol soldiers, they were defeated and then they were brought to that detention center.
Judge Lavergne.
President, now it's time to adjourn for lunch break. And we will resume at 1:30 p.m. The security guards take the accused back to his detention and bring him back before 1:30 p.m. this afternoon. Court officer, please facilitate the witness to the waiting room and to prepare for his lunch and bring him back at 1:30 p.m.
Please stand up.